Morning. Gonna move my cows today. They're hungry. Last move before they go home for winter. They're looking fine. Like, I'll show you what we've been grazing recently. We're trying to use them to improve some of the grass here. And some of these first time mums, nearly all of them are first time mums actually, just starting to really milk off their backs a bit. And I just want to keep them going. I don't want them hammered too hard before they have to get through winter. Even though they've got a nice place to go for winter, so they should be fine, but it's a cool little herd I've got going on. But anywho, just setting a pen up. Then I'm going to get the quad bike to get them in because the calves, the calves are just a bit naughty. So I don't think they'll just come in a pen. So then, shall we? Gotcha! It's sketched out by all this, all these dodgy bits of string. Cows caught. I'm going to get the trailer. Go steady. There's no gate in there, that's just a thick hedge, and I'm hoping that's just going to hold them. I think they'll be fine as long as they're left alone and we don't spend all day doing this. I hear you, honey. I hear you. Go on. I'm going to tell you about this ground in a minute, but essentially that's my neighbour. That fence is all that's keeping them in right now. So I just hope they're going to stay calm, and I'm just going to try and be as quick as I can here. Please don't run down there. Right, I'm just going to go back and get the calves quick before everyone gets a bit stressed. Okay, so that is all the cows bar one. Funny story. One, the calves wouldn't load and then ran and jumped out the pen. And I was on the phone at the time, not filming, obviously. It just got a bit freaked out by the tail board and thought, nope. Just ran back and just like cleared a hedge pretty much. So I'm just gonna go back now. I think I'm just gonna grab the quad on the way back and get the last one. And I'm gonna tell you what we're up to in there. Try and push him gently with the quad bike in there, in my pen. Jump into my new load hedge. Go in the pen. Well done. Look, no. Yeah. Got a lot to do today. Well done. Nice and calm. Nice and calm. Blue waves crashing on the sand. Blue waves on the sand. Go steady now, mate. She ran, right, back, went, and jumped through there. Cleared off. Have a look, mum. There you go. Didn't need to be like that, did it? Woo. Right, okay, so in here, I'm an outdoor kind of guy. I keep my sheep and cattle outdoors all year long, and I follow with quite a lot of interest some pretty interesting people that do the same. James Rebanks, great one, he's grazing cattle in the Lake District all year round outside. What they do basically is allow long growing times, hit the grass hard with a lot of cattle for short periods of time, and then back to long rest periods. It's something I'd have thought I'd experiment in this field. It was pure by chance, so I was going to graze this in June-ish, but we started having the fence done, and then a big project came up, so it got put on hold for a minute. And I thought, well, I'll just leave that for a second. We hadn't had a lot of grass growth because we had a massive drought here in the spring. It just was so dry, you know, there just wasn't the grass growth. Anyway, so I've left it. I have not grazed this field since December last year, so this has had a whole year's rest. And because of that, it's left me this thatch. Yeah. Which people call their winter stockpile. essentially, if you leave the grass to grow, it just creates this massive mat on top of the soil. You see? What that's allowing us to do is, obviously, it's a stockpile of food for the cows, but also it's a thatch to protect the soil. So this is a very, very wet field on a very, very wet farm in December. All right, we haven't had the rainfall we should have had on other years, but it's still a wet place, and the cattle are travelling on it fine. And what I'm hoping is, obviously, they'll come along, they'll eat, so they'll live on it, they will poo on it, they will trample it, they will feed, that will feed the soil biology, get everything going, and they'll also leave a load of residue behind. So this soil will end up being completely matted over just with poo and a bit of trampling on top. And I'm really hoping that then next year that will mean that this land is much more productive, and we'll try and manage it in a way that means that every year we're improving on that. But I like what it's done so far. I like this. There's a lot of food out here, and my ambition right now, my only goal, is to keep these animals off my other farm for as long as possible. So if I can buy another week here, there'll be days. One thing is, I'm not doing it exactly like I should be. I'm not doing it 100% properly. What I should do is mob them tight and just give them a little bit more every day or two. And I can do that with the collars quite easily, just extend my fence every day. And really that's what I should be doing. However, there isn't any water in this field. Me dragging water in from the road every day is not gonna be great. Like, my truck won't get across it. There is an old tank piped up, so there is a water supply here somewhere, but I've got so much going on this week that it's just not gonna happen. Yeah, we're not doing it 100% textbook, but can't do it all, you know? Can't do it all. Should have sorted out the water supply. There ain't enough days in the week. But yeah, anyway, the drawback. So drawback is no water at the moment. Bit tricky. Field next door is a rape field, our field of rape, which will give me some pretty awkward conversations in our CFA meeting if the cows get in there. Even more awkwardly, field next door is not ours. I have complete faith in the Monil collars. I don't think the cows get in there. The calves on the electric fence, still borderline, especially when they realise that that cover crop next door is going to be a lot tastier than this. Cows getting in neighbour's field, not the best way to make friends. So please don't do it to me, guys. That's all I can say. Let's just see how long the cattle are held up on this field. Anything around a week and I'm gonna be really, really happy. The cows at the moment aren't quite as, like, I'd like to see them a bit more flesh than they are. They're just starting to fall off with condition a little bit, but we're pushing them hard. I'll show you in a sec where we've just had them. We've been pushing them tight and they've got calves pulling on them. They're milking hard. You know, these girls are gonna have to earn their living a little bit because we haven't got a nice barn for them to go in and, you know, a bed of straw and loads of food. We're doing it this way around, so, you know, we'll have to see how we get on. But yeah, done every field just looks so much better with cows in. I'll just show you where we've had the cows and then we're on to the sheep. Ta-da! This here is an old bit of game cover. So what has grown here, to the best of my knowledge, has just been naturally, you know, done. Whatever's here has naturally grown, in English. A lot of alder, a lot of all sorts, but we just held the cows on here. But what I wanted from them was a bit of trampling, bit of grazing, bit of pooing. Look at that one. Did get a bit wet out here, to be fair. Maybe held them a day longer than I should have done. But I don't think it's done any harm for it. I really don't. I mean, it's not trampled to death or anything. Anywho, right, should we deal with the sheep? So, like the whole month of November, I was really unwell, and I just wasn't into making any YouTube videos. And I got my tups out into 5 different breeding groups. Sorry, I didn't show you what breeding groups things went into, but it was a lot. So out here, I've got these Texley Clean things that I bought, a couple of Easy Cares that have got bad bags, and then a couple of my homebred things. And I have got a Millennium Blue tup that I don't actually like very much, you know, doing his thing. I'm going to move these now. I'm going to take these out of this field, take them to another field, and just have a bit of a swap over with tups. I also might bring my cows here for a few days because there's a bit to eat. Not loads, but a little bit. and this yard's got really good access for lorries, so I might trailer the cattle into here, just hold them up for a couple of days to organise a lorry, and then we can pen them up here and a lorry can take them to the other farm. So I don't want the sheep in here, not for like a week, like it's not going to be for like a week hopefully, but still just getting in front of it what I can. Ta-da! These are the Texel Clins. They had Orf really, really bad. They obviously never had it as lambs, and it slapped them. This is the tap that I've got in with them, which I'm just not a big fan of him. He was never very big when he was little. He was never very big when he was younger. He's grown into a better sized sheep now, but just not. But anyway, it was either that or a Texel, and I thought a Texel on a Texel Clin, first time lambers, nah, at least he'll be an easy lammer. So I ran in with a few of these, a couple of my own bred things who've started getting the eye infection. So basically, I don't like running groups of sheep with only one ram, because I got stung one year by a ram that had been absolutely fine for a few years for me, and then just stopped being fertile. And we had about, I don't know, it was 40 or something ewes that weren't in lamb. So I hate doing it, but because of the sort of situation I'm in, it meant I had to in a couple of places, and this was one of them. And I've got another group that I'm going to mix these with, which I've had a ram lamb in with, which I also don't trust. So yeah, it's a bit of moving about, but it has to happen. Got a bit of blue raddle. I'm just going to pop a bit of raddle on the blue tup, and when I get the other ewes over, that tup's had green raddle on him, and he's covered most of them. So if they then get a blue raddle, I know something's wrong. Right then, last little lot. These are a Millennium Blue over a Texel Mule, pretty much. I've been breeding these ewes for a couple of years now. I really quite like them, but I haven't quite sussed out what ram to use on them. That's like a random easy care, don't ask. But this year I think I've nailed it. I put a Beltex on them. So this is one of my Beltex ram lambs that I bought out of the Killers. Like, he's not the most special thing in the world, so I'm not expecting a lot, but he was very cheap. I put him in 14 days ago to the day, today, and he has covered them all. I put a bit of raddle on his chest, and they've all got green bums, every single one. So now I'm going to move those ewes in with the other ram, who's got the blue chest, and hopefully they don't cycle again, and he's done his job. And then I have a plan for him tomorrow. He's going to go and join the ewe lambs and continue his conquest. Or whatever it is that he's up to. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what this mix does. And then that's a random Clin Texel as well, that was just a bit better bred than the others. I thought Beltex would be a nice one. So yeah, I'm looking forward to lambing with these. Alright, let's load them up. Bye girls. Just going to leave them in here a couple of days, and then they're going to go on to the cover crop in the field yonder. I'm going to go and put this ram lamb somewhere for the night. Thank you all for being here. If you enjoyed my video, give it a little thumbs up. I'll see you on the next one.